supply Maxxis tires and CST tires. Really? But where are they found? Are found on Chandram Sunda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The Happy World of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM News at 18:30 with Judith Mwape. The headline. The Bank of Zambia has taken possession of Invest Trust Bank PLC. 32 persons killed during this year's Easter holiday. Desperate families dig for food in Mozambique drought. And now the news in detail. The Bank of Zambia has taken possession of Invest Trust Bank PLC with effect from 2nd April 2024, pursuant to Section 64 of the Banking and Financial Services Act No. 7 of 2017. According to a statement by the Central Bank, the possession of the bank has been necessitated by its insolvency. The Bank of Zambia says it has had numerous engagements with the shareholders to recapitalize the bank, but unfortunately, the shareholders have been unable to resolve their insolvency. It explains that under the circumstances, the Bank of Zambia has had to exercise its authority under the law to safeguard financial stability and the interests of the public. The Bank of Zambia is also working with key stakeholders, including the government, on mechanisms for depositors not to lose any of their money. Hence, depositors are advised to remain calm as implementation of the resolution mechanisms are being worked upon. During the possession period, the Bank of Zambia shall, in accordance with the law, prepare a statement of affairs of the bank and take any other action deemed necessary. 32 persons were killed in road traffic accidents during this year's Easter holiday, as compared to 24 deaths recorded in 2023. Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga, who has confirmed the development, says a total number of 338 road traffic accidents were recorded, while 208 road traffic accidents were recorded in 2023 Easter holiday, adding that the figures show an increase of 130 road traffic accidents. He explains that out of the 338 road accidents, 24 were fatal and 26 were serious road traffic accidents, in which 59 persons were seriously injured, 78 were slight road traffic accidents, in which 91 persons were slightly injured. Mr. Hamonga says Lusaka province recorded the highest number of road traffic accidents with 207 and 6 fatalities. Copperbelt recorded 28 accidents with 2 fatalities. Central Province recorded 27 with 5 fatalities. Southern Province had 21 road traffic accidents and 2 fatalities. Eastern Province recorded 14 with 2 fatalities. Luapula with 12 and 9 fatalities. Western had 11 accidents with 1 fatality. Northwestern recorded 9 and no person were killed. Muchinga had 6 with 5 fatalities and Northern with 3 with no fatality.
68 persons were seriously injured in 2023 as compared to 26 serious road traffic accidents, in which 59 persons were seriously injured in this year's Easter holiday. The records show an increase in both serious road traffic accidents and persons seriously injured by 2 and 9 respectively. 47 were recorded as slight road traffic accidents, in which 60 persons were slightly injured in last year's Easter holiday, as compared to 78 slight road traffic accidents, in which 91 persons were slightly injured in this year's Easter holiday. The figures show an increase in both slight road traffic accidents and persons slightly injured by 31.
Meanwhile, Mr. Hamunga says police summoned socialite Flores Solochi for an interview in Kabwe today involving allegations of sexual assault. He says the police have taken an interest in a matter that was circulated on social media in which Ms. Solochi claims to be a victim of sodomy. Mr. Hamunga explains that despite the seriousness of this allegation, the alleged victim has not formally lodged a complaint with the police.
According to the post on Facebook, an individual identified as Florence Solochi claims to be a victim of sodomy. Despite the seriousness of this allegation, the alleged victim has not formally lodged a complaint to the police. While we take all reports of criminal activity seriously, it is imperative that individuals come forward to provide formal statements and cooperate with authorities in order to properly investigate such matters. Without a formal complaint, it is challenging for law enforcement to fully investigate and take appropriate action. In the same vein, we would like to encourage anyone who has been a victim of a crime to come forward and report the incident to the police. Our priority is to ensure the safety and well-being of all members of the community.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia has scheduled Thursday, 2nd May 2024, as the date for ward by-elections in various districts across the country. These include Luangwa ward in Chama District, Eastern Province, Munwa ward in Chienge District, Luapula Province, Kaunga ward in Luangwa District, Lusaka Province, Kaela ward in Lupososhi District, Northern Province, Chikenge ward in Kabompo District, Northwestern Province, Malala ward in Chikankata District, Southern Province, Chisanga and Lumbu wards in Gwembe District, Southern Province, as well as Ndanda ward in Lumulunga District, Western Province. In a statement by Commission Corporate Affairs Manager Patricia Luhanga, says the polls will be conducted from 6 hours to 18 hours on Thursday, 2nd May 2024. She says nominations for these by-elections are set for Thursday, 11th April 2024. She says the campaign period will begin on Friday, 12th April 2024 and end at 18 hours on Wednesday, 1st May 2024. She added that these by-elections are necessary due to the resignations and deaths of councillors. The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has resolved and put to rest a 26-year-old land standoff between the agency and former Medical Stores Limited MSL members of staff concerning the ownership of land in Lusaka's Makeni area. The ZAMSA Board of Directors, through a resolution, has permitted the completion and finalization of the conveyance process of the land that was sold to employees of its predecessor entity, Medical Stores Limited. ZAMSA Senior Corporate Communications Manager Bradley Chingobe explains that in December 1997, the then MSL awarded offer letters to some employees for the purchase of part of the land on subdivision REM 67D of Farm 396A in Lusaka's Makeni area. Mr. Chingobe says the matter has dragged for 2 decades until the current board made a decision during their quarterly meeting held on 9th March 2024. Mr. Chingobe has, however, disclosed that the board has declined the application to grant former unionized workers the other part of the land in question. The board has since resolved to retain the remaining part of the land for the corporation's use. The Zambia Council for Social Development, working with OCC and Oxfam, has held a 3-day civil society organizations and community budget groups training of trainers workshop on the national budgeting processes aimed at enhancing citizen participation in the budgeting process. The training coincides with the open invitation by the Ministry of Finance for citizens to make submissions for the 2025 national budget. Speaking at the launch, Organization Executive Director Liam Mitava expressed concern that the process of formulating the national budget has been a preserve of the elite, hence the organization and its partners initiated the Beyond the Numbers project and has since established 22 community-based groups with a view to increase citizen engagement in the formulation, implementation, enactment, and oversight of Zambia's national budget. Ms. Mitava explains that the workshop submissions that are going to respond to government's call, highlighting three critical areas, namely the health, agricultural, and educational budgets, while ensuring community participation.
Of course, we are highlighting three critical areas. So the health budget, the agricultural budget, as well as the education budget. We believe that every Zambian citizen should have a chance to be educated, because with more people educated, I think we have a better chance to develop our country. Again, we know that without the agricultural sector, we can't survive. So still agriculture continues to be our mainstay as a country. And I think we're coming from a bad drought season. So again, this is a priority sector where we want to see the national budget, even for 2025, pay attention to.
And organization chairperson Jacob Makambwe states that when people have access to budget information coupled with the skills and opportunities to participate in the budget process, the resultant engagement between government and citizens can lead to substantive improvements in governance and service delivery.
The importance of the workshop you are attending today would also be attributed to the fact that because of the decisions made in government budget and how those decisions are implemented on the ground have a direct and transformative impact on people's lives, it is very key that budget tracking is also pursued by an independent sector, such as the civil society or the non-governmental organization.
Energy expert Johnston Chikwanda has held ZESCO for heeding to stakeholders' concern and rescheduling the 8-hour load shedding routine. Power utility firm ZESCO announced that starting 1st April 2024, it will implement a staggered 8-hour load shedding program for residential areas in Lusaka in response to complaints from stakeholders. Welcoming the development, Dr. Chikwanda says the implementation of the staggered 4-hour load shedding twice a day is good for small businesses as the majority operates within residential areas. Dr. Chikwanda says the reduced period for power outage in these areas is a relief to small businesses and believes it will potentially reduce the cost of doing business. He says load shedding a community for 8 hours increases the risk exposure, especially at night, a situation he warns should not be taken lightly.
Most of the small businesses are in the residential area. They are using lines that go to residential areas. That's why you also have the markets, and so when you reduce the period of load shedding into smaller parcels, you give them a lease of life. You give them a lease of life, which potentially reduces the cost of doing business, because a stretch of 8 hours can mean the whole day someone not doing any business. But if you bring them down, by 4 hours, you might find that they just have to contend with the 4 hours. When the next 4 hours is going to start, maybe they will have already knocked off, it will be in the night.
The Mambwe District Administration has urged youths who benefited from the Motorbike Empowerment Program to pay back the loans within the stipulated timeframe. Mambwe District Administrative Officer Weston Piri said 14 youths were empowered with motorbikes in August 2023. Mr. Piri said as per the agreement, the beneficiaries were required to pay a sum of 1,050 kwacha per month for a period of 24 months. He has advised the beneficiaries to make payments of 300 kwacha per week, as this might be helpful, as well as shorten the loan payment period. Mr. Piri adds that it was unfortunate that none of the beneficiaries had come forth to make any commitment towards repayment of the loans. He reminded the beneficiaries that it was the requirement that they needed to pay back the loans without fail to enable other people to benefit from the fund. Another story is trending this evening. United Front for a Strong Foundation leader Brian Sengalumbwe has underscored the need for the government to focus investments in recreation facilities such as stadiums, among others. President Hakainde Hichilema has expressed heartfelt condolences to President Mokgweetsi Masisi and the people of Botswana for the demise of 31 female and 15 male Botswana who were involved in a tragic bus accident. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
Lusaka Integrated Solid Waste Management Company has warned members of the public to desist from acts of vandalizing government properties and implore patriotism as citizens of the country. This follows acts of vandalism at Chunga landfill in respect of the boundary wall by West Pickers. Company Public Relations Officer Sari Muntanga says the West Pickers have made holes in the boundary wall to make it easier access into the landfill as they avoid using the gate for security reasons. Ms. Muntanga says the government recently released funds amounting to over 33 million kwacha to rehabilitate Chunga landfill to its current good state, and it is only prudent for the citizenry to safeguard this facility as their own. She says the law is very clear of those found vandalizing state property, as the perpetrators of such acts can be punished by courts of law if found guilty. Ms. Muntanga says the company will not hesitate to hand over the culprits to state police if found. That ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And now on foreign news, people are surviving by picking wild fruits and tubers after drought destroyed crops in parts of central Mozambique. Hunger has forced dozens of families from their homes in Sofala province and into neighboring areas of Manica province, authorities say. Because of this latitude and coastal location, much of Mozambique is vulnerable to the destructive El Nino weather phenomenon, which has worsened with the climate crisis. District official Candido Zeka, who is responsible for economic affairs in the badly hit area of Chemba, admits not enough has been done to help people in need, but says food aid and farming resources are on their way. Here's Randa from the BBC.
Bassirou Diomaye Faye has been sworn in as president of Senegal to become Africa's youngest elected leader. Heads of state from around the continent attended the inauguration ceremony outside the capital, Dakar. Last month, Mr. Faye won the delayed elections, securing 54% of the vote ahead of his main challenger, Amadou Ba. A court in South Africa has rejected an application by the Speaker of Parliament to avoid arrest. Nosiviwe Mapisa Nkakula is accused of soliciting large bribes from a former military contractor when she was defense minister. Her home was raided by anti-corruption police last month. She denies wrongdoing. Armenia and Azerbaijan have accused each other of opening fire in several locations along their shared border. The fresh tensions between the two neighbours and bitter rivals come 6 months after Azerbaijan seized back the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh in a lightning offensive. The governor of Istanbul says 25 people have died in a fire in Turkey's biggest city. 3 others were injured and are receiving treatment in hospital.
And finally, in sports news, Zambia futsal national team coach Andrea Cristoforetti has named his final 14-member squad for the Morocco 2024 Africa Cup of Nations. Cristoforetti will lead Zambia, who are in Group A, alongside hosts Morocco, Ghana, and Angola. Zambia opens its count on April 11th against Ghana at the Cell Prince Moulay Abdallah in Rabat, before facing Angola 2 days later at the same venue. The final match will be against the hosts in April 15th. Cristoforetti has retained the core of the team that qualified to the tournament and will be looking to compete for a place at the World Cup. Group B has Egypt, Libya, Namibia, and Mauritania. And now the weather report brought to you by Classic Con.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Muchinga, Northern, Luapula, Eastern, Western, and Northwestern provinces, including the northern parts of Copperbelt Province, will be mainly cloudy, slightly windy and warm to mild, with isolated rain and occasional thunder. Southern, Lusaka, and Central provinces, including the southern parts of Copperbelt Province, will be partly cloudy, windy at times, and warm to mild. That ends the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
And that weather report brings us to the end of the news this evening. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. The Bank of Zambia has taken possession of Invest Trust Bank plc. 32 persons killed during this year's Easter holiday. Desperate families dig for food in Mozambique drought. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Judith Marpe. Good evening.